Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Mass Effect. We are still here on asteroid X-57. Last time we shut down one of the 3 plasma torches that are pushing the asteroid towards the planet. So now we need to shut down the other 2. And we also found out once we managed to get into this facility that the Batarians are behind this attack, and we're not exactly sure why they've decided to destroy this colony. So hopefully we'll be able to find out something more about that as we take out more of their personnel. So let's go ahead and head on to the next facility. Uh-oh, who's this?
Hey.
What?
Oh God. I didn't mean to... Are you hurt?
So not a soldier then.
You can't go firing your weapon at everything that moves. What the hell's wrong with you?
Sorry. I thought you were one of them.
Leave the fighting to me from now on. Commander Shepard, Systems Alliance.
Simon Atwell. I'm the chief engineer on this rock. Listen, we don't have much time. The Batarians fired up the fusion torches. You've got to shut them down before we hit Terra.
Yeah, we kind of already knew that.
There are 4 million people down there, Shepard. My family. They live in Aronis. My kids and grandkids. Nice communities, good schools.
Okay,
I don't have time to do the math in my head. What happens if we don't stop this rock?
X-57 is 22 kilometers long, twice the size of the asteroid that wiped out the Earth's
Wow.
dinosaurs. It would be like millions of fusion bombs striking at once. Millions. The heat of the blast. 1,000 kilometers away, clothes will ignite. There'll be global wildfires. Air shock will flatten everything for hundreds of kilometers. Terra Nova will die, Shepard. Not just our colony. The planet. There'll be a climate shift, mass extinctions. The ecosystem won't recover for thousands of years. Millions, maybe.
so this is not good. There's no way we can evacuate the planet. Yeah, if this asteroid lands, it's going to kill the planet. Not good.
This doesn't make any sense. Batarians run criminal gangs. Unethical, but profitable. They don't destroy worlds. What does this gain them?
I've heard all the stories. Slave rings ranching people like animals. Pirate bands burning colonies to the ground. But this is... The Citadel conventions forbid asteroid drops. I never thought the Batarians would go this far.
So we have 2 options to respond to this. One is more diplomatic option. You know, say this is just a faction of the Batarians. This bottom one is more the Batarians are just sort of evil. And while our Shepard has been attempting to integrate aliens into her crew, and she's been defending that decision to her crew and the Alliance higher-ups, and even that reporter, Batarian slavers killed her family and destroyed her home. So, yeah, she kind of has a blind spot when it comes to Batarians, I think.
The conventions only apply to Council-aligned races. The Batarian government is a rogue state.
The Batarians aren't stupid. If they made a policy of this, the Council will declare war on them. My opinion? These guys aren't backed by their government. They've got to be working on their own.
All right, so that might be a good sign if these aren't acting on behalf of the Batarian government, at least. Hopefully they aren't as well equipped as actual soldiers.
We can worry about who to blame later.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Is there anything else I can tell you?
You were on the ground when this happened. How many Batarians have you seen? And where?
They landed at the main facility. It's locked down now. They've changed the passcodes. No idea what's going on inside. I did see groups head out to each of the torch stations. Couldn't say how many, though. Enough to give you a fight.
Okay, that doesn't sound good.
Any idea who's behind this? Who's leading them? That might provide a clue.
I heard a couple of them talking. They mentioned a Balak. It sounded like he's the one in charge. They didn't seem convinced this was a good idea, but they were scared of the guy. Scared enough to do what he wanted.
Interesting. Okay, so lots of Batarians and led by Balak. Not much to go on, but every little bit helps, I guess.
Batarians everywhere, and I need to shut down all 3 torches. Anything else I should know?
One of the torches is surrounded by live blasting caps. We were set up to excavate when we arrived at Terra Nova. I rigged them with proximity detectors. That tank of yours will set them off, so you'll have to go in on foot. Even then, they'll explode if you get too close. Just go slow and easy. You should be fine.
Perfect.
Should I requisition a cow to walk through ahead of me?
Look, you can disable them, just not remotely. I didn't have the equipment to set it up differently. There are manual controls by the entrance to the torch facility inside the blast zone. You can disarm the caps there.
Well, that's
One
helpful.
last thing. I had a crew working off-site when the attack hit. I'm worried about them. These Batarians are ruthless. I saw them smash the faceplates of guys working vacuum. And those Varen, I don't think they always wait for a corpse before feeding.
Ugh. Not a pleasant picture.
Any idea where I can find them?
They were running checks on our perimeter equipment. Easiest thing would be to tap into the transmission tower out on the surface. The equipment stations will show up on your sensors.
Well, I suppose we can look for them.
I'll look for them, but the torches have to be my priority.
Yeah, you're right. Saving Terra Nova is more important than my team. There were a bunch of engineers over at the main facility, but they're probably all dead. That or being held hostage by the Batarians.
No, they're not all dead.
A woman named Kate Bowman contacted me. The Batarians haven't found her yet.
Katie's alive? She's one of my best engineers. She signed on with her brother, Aaron, I think his name is. He's part of the security detail. I hope they're okay.
Give me a worst-case scenario. We can't stop the asteroid. Could the colony be evacuated?
Shepard, it took 30 years for the population to grow that large. I'm sure they're moving people to remote areas, but they'd never be able to get more than a few thousand off-world. We just don't have enough ships. No one does. Well, maybe the Quarians, but I don't see them suddenly showing up and offering us a ride.
Yeah, not in time either. Even if we could get Tally to help out.
Why were you moving this thing in the first place?
Well, the idea was to drag it into Terra Nova's orbit, mine it out, and in the end you'd have a basic structure for an orbital station. It's a lot cheaper than getting everything up into orbit from the planet's surface. The minerals we extract almost cover the costs.
Okay, that seems reasonable.
What can you tell me about Kate?
Smart as a whip and bold as they come. I hope she keeps hidden. If they find her... Oh, Katie, don't do anything stupid.
You better find a good place to hide. If the Batarians come back and find you...
Yeah. I think I'll make myself scarce. Good luck, Shepard.
Okay, so we got a couple of warnings and another side quest to our already side quest. We need to try and find this guy's expeditionary crew that was out on the asteroid surface when the Batarians hit. So that's where he said to tap into that transmission tower, which is what we saw on our map when we first landed. So let's go ahead and trek up there and see see if we can tap into that. We might be able to listen in on some of the Batarian conversations, maybe, if we have a powerful enough radio. So it looks like it's up on the top of that plateau, which might be difficult to climb up with a rover. So it looks like we're gonna have to go around the side here. So while we're out here on the surface, let's talk about the Batarians, the ones that are attacking this colony. Well, they are attacking the colony, but they've attacked the asteroid, and they're using the asteroid to attack the colony. The Batarians were one of the council species before the humans showed up. They've been around a lot longer than we have, but they were one of the smaller species in terms of power and population and stuff. They were more akin to the Elcor or the Volus. They weren't sitting on the council. They didn't have huge military fleets and everything, but they had a number of colonies. They had a lot of resources and things before the humans showed up. When the humans showed up, we need a little bit of space to expand. We need planets to colonize. And so the Council gave expansion rights to an area of space known as the Attican Traverse. That's sort of out on the edge of, what's kind of known as Council space. But that land was sort of claimed by the Batarians. They hadn't settled it. They sort of, in their minds, it was Batarian space that they were going to colonize eventually. And so when the humans started to move in, started to colonize this area, they got really upset by what they felt was an invading species. So this is the transmission tower that that engineer told us about. If we jump out and head over here and repair it, we'll hopefully be able to get a location fix on the members of his team. Cool. Data link between the transmission tower and several survey stations has been restored. Survey station locations are now shown on your map. Excellent. So, if we open up our map, indeed we have 3 survey stations out here, so we need to check each of these to find the members of the survey team. Hopefully find them before the Batarians do. So one of them is actually back where we started. Some of you guys might have seen that on our radar screen, but I was just saving it for now. So, oops. Well, they didn't really need that solar panel. So anyway, after the humans started to colonize this area, the Batarians took offense at that. They thought that we were invading their space, even though they hadn't actually colonized any of these planets. And so they petitioned the Council to remove us from what they saw as their territory. When the Council refused, the Batarians decided to leave Council jurisdiction. They decided that they were their own people, and they weren't going to abide by anything the Council said, and so they split off. And so that's why Shepard said that the Batarians are basically a rogue state right now. They don't follow anything that the Council says. He was talking about the Council conventions. They're not going to follow those. They wouldn't necessarily have a problem with dropping an asteroid on one of our planets. But at the same time, the way he was saying, if the Batarians did start dropping asteroids on our planets, the Council would probably go to war with them, and they would not be able to stand against the combined fleets of the Asari and the Turians and the humans. But here we are at this survey station. We have technician kit we can open up for some goodies, and looks like we've got a body here. This victim was badly beaten before being killed with a pistol shot in the back of the head at close range. It's likely he surrendered only to be executed by his sadistic captors. So, yeah. These Batarians, definitely not nice, so we're going to have a hard fight ahead of us. But we can pick up some metagel, get station logs. The central transmission tower is on the fritz again. No one ever listens to my warnings about single points of failure. I'm surprised our surface comms work half as well as they do. When Salas shows up to relieve me, I'll go see if I can get the old girl back up and running. Yeah. So it looks like the Batarians came in and they were easily able to cut off communications to the people who were here. And that's why they were able to take over as well as they did. Alright, so we've got another survey station way over here. So let's head to that one, and then we'll go and take out this fusion torch. So yeah, so now since the Batarians really can't officially trade with any of the Council species, and so a lot of them set themselves up as pirates and gangsters, and indeed as slavers. One of those slaving parties was the ones that attacked Mindwar, Shepard's home colony. If you look at the codex entry for the Batarians, here it's got a picture of it's actually one of the Batarians from this mission. but that wasn't the original picture that was there when the game was first released. There was another picture of Batarians, and they looked very similar. They still had the 4 eyes, but they weren't quite as humanoid in appearance as the Batarians are now. It's just a little interesting thing. So we got a little chest we can open up here, get some stuff, and come in here, and unfortunately, yeah, it looks like the this surveyor was also dead. This body has severe burns and shows signs of major concussive trauma. Mercifully, the explosion would have killed her instantly. So that's a good thing. He did,
This is Dr. Himes. They found me, damn Batarians. I can hear them out there prowling around, trying to find a way in. It sounds like they're attaching something to the door. If I don't make it, tell my family I love them.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, so it looks like they exploded the door, and, yeah, she didn't survive.